Hi, Rachel.
Hiya.
Is it Rachel or Rach?
Do you know what? It's when you say it, and if you say Rach and you think, oh, then it's Rachel. Because some people can just say Rach and it sounds really good and it sounds natural, but some people say Rach and it sounds really forced. Like about 5 people in my life call me Rach.
Really?
Yeah. Because it doesn't sound right. It's Rachel.
Okay, Rachel.
And then I was saying to my friends the other day, actually, I was like, no one actually calls me a name. It's just like, you just speak and it's not anything. So, but you can call me whatever you want, whatever sounds natural.
We'll just see what comes out because I do
Most
not know
people
what
from
comes out
Manchester,
my
it's
mouth
always
sometimes.
Rach. And Manchester's like, Rach.
Yeah,
So.
we're going to talk about them a little bit later on. But first of all, thank you for joining us here on PLT Behind Closed Doors.
Me.
Very excited. I want to get to know you from the beginning. So you are a massive YouTuber. You've got a huge channel right now. We're going to touch on that a little bit later on. But I want to know, where did it all begin for you? How did you first start out?
So, this is like...
It's a long time.
Yeah.
What age were you when you started?
I was the peak, well, not the peak, but where it all first started, I was in my last year of school.
Okay.
So that was a little bit...
So like 16?
Difficult. Yeah.
Like high school?
Oh, no. Like sixth form. So like college,
18.
last year of college. So like 18, 19 kind of thing.
Okay, we've got it.
But my sixth form was at my school. So in my head, it's like my last year of being at school.
Okay.
But no, I've always been interested in makeup. Like, you know when you get magazines when you're like a kid and there's like a free like blue mascara in it or like lip gloss and stuff, I'd always get really excited about makeup. I was always the girl in sixth form wearing lashes or something like that. So I've always had a passion for makeup. I think it's because my auntie was in that sort of like industry too, so I just thought that was like really cool.
Yeah.
And then I did photography at school, and a lot of that was video editing and editing pictures and stuff like that. My sister also did photography, so we had all like cool cameras at home and editing software. So it was, and it was kind of at the time where YouTube had all the like OGs were just starting off. So I used to go home and be so excited for like a Tanya Burr YouTube video, like makeup tutorial. I used to watch loads of makeup tutorials as well. Still do, to be fair, but I'd come home and be like excited to watch that. So I just kind of put 2 and 2 together. And to be fair, it was when no one was really doing it. Yeah. And I was thinking, there's no one that I currently watch on YouTube that's like my age, that like sits in their room and does makeup. So I just thought maybe I'll just be that person kind of thing, and put 2 and 2 together, combine my 2 likes for things. And yeah, the first YouTube video I ever did is like my camera propped up on a tissue box. I'm like bent down, like trying to see. I had like a mirror behind my camera so I could see what I was doing. It sped through and there's just music over the top, which I think is like thunder and lightning, because it's a witch tutorial.
To say, I know what it was, so I was going to ask you, do you remember that tutorial? Because I watched it the other day.
Oh my God.
And I was like, girl, that music. I thought it was brilliant though. Your makeup was insane.
I mean, was it? Yes. I mean, I watched back and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I like thinking? But I can't bring myself to delete it because it's a nice way to see how far,
a transition, isn't it?
How
it's
far you've come. But yeah, I think that's kind of where it started. And lucky for me, it was like my second or third video was kind of like a snowball for me. I just gauged what I thought would be popular, and it was when Ariana Grande did like a Love Me Harder with The Weeknd. Oh my God, remember that song? She like just dropped the video and her makeup in it just looked really nice. And I was like, oh my God, I bet you anything people are going to want to recreate that look. So I just got home from school, filmed it, posted it the next day. And for someone that had just started a YouTube channel, it got like 10,000 views in like a week. And I was like, that's quite a lot. And it just kind of inspired me to keep the momentum going and just keep posting things. And just kind of went from there. That's why when people say, what's the trick of like this? I can give you like a load of tips that everyone would give you, but a lot of it is just down to luck and timing. Wow. So, and that's something that you can't always guarantee.
So when you started your channel, you didn't really have a plan to make it your career, because it is now your career, isn't it?
Yeah. No, not at all. I just kind of thought it's like fun to like making videos, editing videos, kind of like connecting with people that you've never even spoken to before. So it's funny because you see things all the time that like your biggest supporters are people that you've never really even met,
100%.
Which I think is crazy. And like one of the best parts of a job like this is just being able to connect with people from like all over the world. And I love it when people leave comments saying like, sending love from like Argentina or something, and I'm just like, what? Like that's really weird to think that like someone so far away is like excited to watch my stuff. It's really bizarre. That's kind of like the only way I can describe everything that really happens to me is just like really bizarre.
Well, your stuff is amazing. I can see why people want to watch it from so
thanks.
far away. But I want to know, because I'm guessing you're going to say no now after what you've just told me. I want to know, are you trained in makeup? Like what? Because you're amazing at it.
Thanks. Not professionally,
Okay.
but I did work at MAC for 2 years, and they do
okay.
give you an element of training and stuff like that. But
That
I
makes so much sense.
Yeah, I gained. I feel like a lot of people worked in on a counter before doing this. It's how I met Hannah, really, because she worked at MAC too, and we were both could see each other like on Twitter and stuff, and she was always tweeting about working at MAC, and then she like slid into my DMs, or like I slid into hers, or like something, just being like, do you want to like spend out like meet up and just like spend our MAC discount together and like make friends kind of thing. And then ever since then we were just like best friends.
Oh my God.
So but yeah, no, they give you like an element of training at MAC, but I learned most of my techniques and stuff like that just from the girls that I worked with.
Wow.
You learn so much more on counter because you're dealing with every single type of person that walks into your store, so you have to just learn there and then, or just learn as you go, or you might not know how to do something and then you get given someone with a really not difficult eye shape, but an eye shape you've never worked on before, for example, something that you're not used to.
So it's challenging.
And then and then you like can just learn from there, and then you know for next time. So I feel like in this day and age you can go to a school to learn, but if you haven't got the talent for it, you can still come out at the end and you still don't like know.
Yeah.
you can't like train certain parts of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess mostly self-taught, but then
You've had a little bit of help along the way, maybe.
Help, definitely.
Well, you're brilliant at it, so.
I mean, thanks.
Now, so how long have you actually been on YouTube? You mentioned before you started around 18, 19. How long have you actually, has your channel been running for now?
I think it's been running for 4 years, but it wasn't my full-time job. It's been my full-time job, for 3 years. So I had like a year of like doing YouTube, but still like
Just
being
a year,
at school.
though.
I think so. It was something quite short and snowball and like really just confusing.
That's it. So fast forward 4 years, you've now got over 600,000 subscribers. That's over 500,000 people subscribed to your channel, watching your videos. Like, do you ever sit back and think, oh my God, that's mad?
Well, yeah, because isn't there like how much does like Wembley Stadium hold? I think, is it like 150,000 people? So like,
So you're like selling that out times a million, basically. I mean, I can't do math,
times
guys.
like 6.
Times 6?
But do you know what I mean? And then
Don't
you're
know why
just
I
like,
couldn't
oh
do
my
that
God.
calculation
No, I
then.
know, but it's when you think of it like that, you're sort of like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not 600,000 people every single time, but there's 600,000 people that have clicked that
Subscribe
button
to your
and
channel, yeah.
stuff like that. So it is fairly overwhelming, and I tend to not really sort of think about it like that, because if I do, I'll go into a bit of a meltdown and be like, oh God, I don't know how to like digest it. But no, I feel very fortunate.
And what has the journey been like from start to where you are now? Explain your journey for me.
A bit of a whirlwind, I guess. I've done so many things that I would never even dream of doing, or like experiencing so many things, just meeting so many amazing people that you just sort of have to sit back sometimes and think like, what is my life like? I could never have thought this. And even if something happens and I don't do this anymore, I feel like I've got so many now paths that I could take, and I've experienced so many different elements of this job that I don't ever feel like lost. Yeah. Which I think is a good feeling to have, because when you feel lost, that's like the worst thing ever, when you like don't know what you're doing or like anything like that. And I feel confident in the sense of now I've experienced so much, even though I've got so much more coming up and stuff like that. I feel like if it all ended tomorrow,
you've got all
this is me touching wood that it doesn't. I feel like I've done
take.
like so many amazing things that I'd be like, that's okay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
And what does a day-to-day look like for Rach Leary? I imagine it must be crazy.
Yeah, but they differ. I've got days where I sit and I feel like I probably should be doing something, because sometimes you can get all your work done for like the week in a day if you've got certain deadlines. If you're on a roll, just get it all done, get it all out of the way, and then the next day you're just like, well, I've done it all now, so like, I'm not really like sure. So I always feel bad if there are days where I'm like not feeling like I'm doing loads, but it's so up and down. There's a lot of traveling involved, which can take like a bit of a toll on what you're doing, and a lot of pressure in the sense of deadlines and stuff like that. A lot of people, like brands, for example, just think they can throw stuff on you. Because you're probably not doing anything, so just throw it on. You need it like there and then, and you're like it's very like Actually, do you know what? That's the way to describe it. It's so unscheduled that it can like affect other parts of like your life because you don't have a
solid routine.
A solid routine, which is difficult for people to understand if they don't get it, and sometimes difficult to like work around. But I'm so fortunate to be in the place I'm in that I've kind of just like learnt to I can deal with it, and that's fine.
I think it's an interesting thing to hear for like listeners that might want to get into YouTube, that, you know, obviously your life looks incredible. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into it too. Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of being alone as well. So like just need to learn, because I've got friends that like cannot be on their own, in the sense of just always need people around them. Not that they don't like their own company, but in this job you have to learn to love your own company, otherwise it's just very difficult. And that's when people, I think, can feel lost, feel very alone, have really bad anxiety about things like that. You just have to learn, and you're forced to be quite independent as well. Maybe it's different for me because I started quite young. I was forced to be fairly independent and grow up very quick because I'm dealing with contracts, money, all that kind of stuff, from an age where people are still like, oh, I've got £1.50 in my bank account, like, oh well, like, I'm just going out at the weekend, you know what I mean? Or whereas I can't really think like that, or have never thought like that, because I couldn't live like that in the sense of just like what I'm doing. It's hard because especially now, so many younger people are blowing up on social media and like again forced into an industry that requires you to be very mature very quickly because you deal with so much. So it's one of those things where on the outside it looks very lavish and exciting and oh my god, I want to do that, I want to go on all these like trips and stuff, but you don't see the main thing is, I think, is if you're happy on your own and like being on your own a lot, then this is a good job in the sense, because that's a lot of what you do, and a lot of pressure on yourself as well. Like you have to just learn to take that, and obviously the criticism that comes with being online. You just have to have a bit of a hard skin when it comes to all of that kind of stuff. And if realistically you don't, and you get offended by the smallest thing, it's not the job. And I would say that, like, I don't care if that sounds really bad or anything like that. Like,
no, it's
honestly,
honest.
if you can't hack it or hack that kind of thing of like being on your own and pressure, forced to grow up really quickly, therefore it can affect other parts of your life as well. Like you have to take that, and if you can't find a balance, that's when it can go either way, I reckon.
So talk me through that. How was that journey for you? So you're saying there, you had to learn very quickly how to deal with contracts, how to deal with managers, companies, how to deal with hate online. Like, what's your journey been like from that side and that point of view?
I'm quite fortunate in the sense I don't get a lot of hate compared to a lot of other influences that I see, and I have no idea why. If anything, I only ever really get stupid appearance things, being like, oh my god, your knuckles look like you've rolled through dirt, like stuff like that, where it's really just like, okay,
irrelevant.
Don't care. It doesn't really matter. It's nothing really like about me as a person, which I'm really grateful for. But in terms of journey, my friends have been really supportive, but I feel like it's because maybe I'm not huge, I'm not in the millions of people, so my schedule is quite, it's busy, but it's not too busy. I've got time for my friends, and when I see people that are so dedicated to their craft of videos, like everyday videos, really stick to a schedule, but they're the people that are obviously like seriously successful and will grow at like a rapid speed and stuff. But then I never see. But then again, that's just because they don't post. But I never see them just like chilling out, like out clubbing or like doing the stuff that like I really like to enjoy, and I still do that kind of stuff. And I feel like if I didn't have that balance, I'd probably drive myself completely nuts. Like I need the detox of like, not like normal people, but just my friends to keep me grounded. That will be just like getting completely wrecked with me on the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, a complete mess. Like they're not thinking about if they're going to bump into people or like an image that they have to like uphold,
Keep
which
up, yeah.
I quite like. It just, I think that's why I still have like so many friends that like aren't
in the
industry friends,
Yeah.
because I've not changed really, unless it comes to like serious things. And I do think to myself, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, or like when if they're staying out to like 4 a.m. and I'm thinking like I actually have to film tomorrow, I'm not doing that kind of thing, then that's when I'll have work mode on and think like, no, I have to be like sensible and stuff. But my mum's always been very supportive, but in the sense of, I think, knowing the balance between getting overexcited and feeling, because obviously this is a completely different industry that she doesn't know anything about, so she just kind of would see things as, what am I trying to say?
I feel like it's hard for parents to understand this industry because it's so new. It never was about their time.
A lot of parents get so like involved. Yeah. They're like, see what's happening and can see the potential, and it can be like, oh my God, how can I be a part of this? And like, how we can make this bigger and bit more like a more of like a family thing, in the sense that they can know what's going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got a bit of control of it.
My mum would never, I don't think my mum would ever film a video with me. She's just not that kind of person, but is more just excited of what's going on, really asks a lot, but would more just always is thinking about my future, in the sense of be sensible, save it all, because technically that money's not yours when you're self-employed. You should pay your own taxes and stuff like that. You have to remember that that's coming. So she always just would tell me, just think of that money as not really yours. I mean, and then when you're left with what's left, then you can be like, okay, that's what I've got. That's the way you're always safe. I think she just cares more about my protection and like safety, because with money and this kind of industry, it can be so skyrocket, and then and then what are you left with? Do you know what I mean? You need to make sure that you've got that safety blanket. So I think she always cared about my safety blanket, which made, when she would tell me about like the reasons why you need to think about that, I think that always was something that I thought about, and from like a very, like from the young age that I started, that was always kind of like drummed into me, that you just need to be sensible and safe, because this is a very new industry and you have no idea like what could happen, because back then no one was doing it, and now you look 3 years later and it's like the industry's so competitive and you don't get the jobs that you used to anymore, because there's like 7,000 people to choose from. Or like, I mean, you do get the jobs, but like there is competition, and there was always competition, but way more that you need to think about, and everything is so fast paced that
things just change daily, I guess.
You could be famous one day and the next, and you see that kind of happen like all the time. I
think it's good that you've clearly got your head screwed on. Like, that's a really good message to send, that, you know,
I do.
You're aware of the industry and how it is.
I take a little bit of pride in the sense that I do genuinely feel like I've got my head screwed on, and I wouldn't like, from a young age I was always getting trains and stuff like that, and like just learn how to, I mean, I've got like the apps on my phone and stuff, and just like to plan my travel, and I take pride on as well. I'm like 98% of the time always on time. I think it's really, really, if you're late, it means you don't really care. And like, you're just so like good. Rock up and you're just like, sorry, and it's just like, people have a day and you don't care. So I always try and be late, and if I'm not, I'm like called the person 10 times and like sobbing on the phone, like it's not my fault. Like,
some things are out of your control.
Some things out of your control, but if I have the control, I will always like be on time and stuff. And I've always been traveling and stuff. So whenever I'm with my friends, because some of my friends don't even know how to get a train even now, or would just like not realise the tricks, and like we'll get like a slow train somewhere just because it says like that's the end destination. I'm like, what? You never heard about like the other trains and stuff like that. But I do have the fun side to me too. So like, I'm always the sensible one, but can like relax and sensible.
You know,
I'm like,
have a good time as
balance. Well. I'm like all about the balance. I'm a Libra, and that's the balance, the symbol.
Of the
scales.
So you're a Libra. So you were into star signs at all?
No, but I know like about my star sign.
Okay.
And I know it's like the best one. Sorry about it, but it is. But I'm like, but I don't know about all the moons, and I see people like saying, "Oh my God, Mercury is in retrograde, and I'm like, I got no idea what that means. But everyone's like, quick, stay inside, don't do anything, and I'm like, I don't get that.
Oh my god!
But I just know supposedly about compatibility. I did buy a book, and I can't tell you what the name is, so that's really unhelpful. And I started to read it and started to gauge a little bit of an understanding. But I mean, there's a certain amount to it that I think is probably true. I believe in people having energies and stuff like that, and the time that you're born, I think, would probably affect that in that sense. But I feel like if you like someone just because the star signs say because I've met someone once and I've been like, hi, I'm Rachel, and the first thing they said was, what's your star sign? And I was like, a Libra, and she was like,
Oh.
I was like, what does that mean? She was like, we're not meant to get on. I was like, because she was like a Gemini or something. I was like, okay. And she was like laughing at all my jokes on the trip, and I was like, well, I've just kind of said it was on a trip, but and then she was like, do you know what? You're one of the first Libras I actually get on. And I was like, wait, I feel like not every star, not every person of a star sign has exactly all of the same qualities. So just give me a chance. I was like, I'm sure I'll make you laugh. Give me a chance.
Give me 5 minutes.
Sure enough, and I did. So it was fine.
Okay, and tell me about, going back to YouTube, tell me about content. Now, you put out a lot of videos. You're busy. You're constantly feeding your fans and feeding us guys watching at home with loads of creative, amazing videos. But how do you even find the creativity and the time and the knowledge to make those videos? Where does your inspiration come from?
A lot of the time, it's when I'm trying to go to sleep. And I know that sounds really what? But my brain is constantly just going and just thinking about when I wake up I need to do this it's really crap. I live my life by lists. My notes on my phone, if they ever got deleted, I would be lost. If the calendar on my phone ever went, I would be completely lost. I just kind of gauge what's popular or what gets the best or quickest amount of views when I post it. So nowadays, I mean, people love a good makeup tutorial, but I feel like that's phasing out, and then people want a twist on a makeup tutorial. They want you to be drunk doing a makeup tutorial. They want you to be chatting a load of crap doing a makeup tutorial. Do you know what I mean? So it's just finding new ways to make things fun and interesting. And I try and put myself in someone else's shoes and think, right, what's gonna make me watch this video? That what title's gonna come up? I think I really want to watch that. I want to see how that turns out or something like that. So I just kind of see what other people are doing that are doing well, not to copy, but to just kind of see how I can put my own twist on things and make it more applicable to my kind of brand and channel kind of thing. So because like I said, everything goes so quickly. You could think you have to act fast on video ideas, I think, because within a week it's a new trend, and that's suddenly what's popular, and no one's searching for what you were planning to do in a week then kind of thing.
To get it done.
So you have to be quite quick. So I think that should be enough momentum for you to think right, I need to do this today, or I need to work hard, I need to get this done and this done, and to be able to not God, it's oh my God, it's Game of Thrones, but it's Game of being relevant. You're fighting for the relevance.
I love the Game of Thrones reference.
You need to keep going. You need to stay on the trends, and it's the people that are stubborn that think no, I'm going to stick to what I've always done and all that kind of stuff. That their growth will be a lot slower, and slowly the hard reality of it is that you'll lose your audience because they're I do love what you're doing, but do something new. People want newness. People want new fun content. Fresh. Keeping it fun, fresh. And you work a lot with Hannah and Madison at the minute. Well, you're friends. Yes. But you recently did a video, actually. I think they did your voiceover. I watched that. That was quite fun. That was interesting. I was messaging. They hated me by the end of it. I kept messaging them because I knew they were going out. I was right, I want you to do this before you go out. And where we live, because obviously they're from Manchester and I'm from Surrey, we go out at 9. That's when you go out. But I know from coming to Manchester, they don't go out till 11 or 12. So it's getting to 10:30, and I'm like, have you done it yet? Or can you just tell me that you've done it? I need to know that you've done it. And they're like, Rachel, I've read.
But you're organised, aren't you?
Well, I got it the next day, and they're like, Rachel, we did it at 7 in the morning. Really sorry about it. We did it when we came back. Thought it would be better. I was like, oh my goodness. Played it back. I was crying. I was like, oh my God, there's so many references in there that. It's just I was crying, but I didn't know if people would get it, because we have a group chat, and we genuinely are 3 best friends that have just so happened to meet from or doing the same thing, but the same age, same interests, literally same everything. So it's like that. I think that's what I feel so blessed, because it means so much to me that a lot of my engagement and my best stuff comes from working with my best friends. Like that's really like rare. I feel like to have like such a close group of friends that's genuine,
that you're actually
and that when we work together it's like received really well. And the amount of comments of people, or like whenever we're out and stuff and people just want to come hang out with us, it's like it's so nice. I think that's like the only really word to describe it. It's just like I'm glad we're coming across the way that we are, because that's genuinely how it is. So I feel very grateful that like I got to meet them, and me and Hannah, because I met Maddie through Hannah.
Right, okay.
So if me and Hannah had never messaged each other in the first place, I think like that would, I mean, I'd hoped that even if we hadn't, somehow our paths would cross and we'd meet, because it's one of those things where you just like have an instant bond. So
you mentioned friendships there. Now, friendships in the YouTube industry, it's a bit of a touchy subject. I've heard YouTube can be a bit of a catty place. So tell me, have you had any beef, would you say, with anyone?
Do you know what? I feel like the beauty community as a whole gets kind of thrown into the same category as like people in America. And I feel like over there there's so much like drama and stuff like that, but it's because everyone's so much bigger. Everyone gets paid so much more. It's so much more competitive that I like get it. I get there's probably a lot of scandals and drama because it's so competitive in that way. Whereas here I feel like the drama's a bit more, if there like even is drama, is a little bit more like personal, a bit more secretive. It's not like common knowledge. It's just underlying stuff that's not really made a big deal of. Maybe we just like deal with things differently, or we just, I don't know, like only really speak about, maybe know where the line is. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not so much at stake. So it's just kind of like kept
swept under the rug.
Not necessarily like swept under the rug. I think people are just, I'm like this in my day-to-day life too. I'm just aware, I've taken it in, and I'm just like sat with it, and I'm just like, I'd rather know, have the power of the knowledge. I just like know that person or that situation is just like not good, and just stay clear. I feel like that's like the way to just, because otherwise if you get too involved in stuff, it ends up just looking bad on you. So I'd rather just keep in my own lane. I know, I feel like I've got a good sense for who's like a good egg and who's not, and I just stick with the good eggs.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Now, you are clearly popping on YouTube, and, you know, you're doing a lot on the gram as well. You are a very known person right now, Rach.
Am I? I don't know.
You are.
Okay.
What has it been like for you putting yourself out there on social media? Do you feel like you've put a lot of yourself out there?
I think, again, I would take pride in the fact that I've put a lot of myself out there. I'm very real. I'll talk about stuff. I mean, from what I looked at on, like, my questions thing, people feel like they can ask me literally anything.
You do a lot of YouTube videos where it's about like Q&A. A lot of people want to know about.
Yeah, I feel like you just need to. I mean, I like it when people are just completely honest. And I mean, honest to a certain extent, but just more like real. Can talk about things that are normal, or like talk about subjects that for other people might be a little bit taboo, and like I don't know if that's normal. And then for having someone their age talk about it, it just makes. I feel like that's good. Like that makes them feel a little bit better, and it's just like, oh, like other people have these like thoughts and opinions as well, because like everyone does about like everything. So just because I'm saying it, I mean, I put a little bit at risk when you talk about stuff like half of those kind of videos that I do, like I get a nice notification being like, your video's been demonetized because you're talking about stuff that you shouldn't. I'm like, well,
it's honest.
Whatever, but and like my mum's quite good at that as well. She's just like, oh, I saw that video that you posted. Don't think I'm gonna watch that one. I'm like, you know what? Probably shouldn't.
You stay away.
But
from
like,
that
she gets it, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays are getting it. That just like, it's good to talk about these things. And like, otherwise, people are just left to their own devices, and that's when it can like go one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's good to keep talking about it. And I think the fact that I do talk about those kind of things and talk about just stuff that I feel like a lot of people, I'm really lucky. My demographic is my age group. My highest demographic is 18 to 24. Oh, wow. So it's people that are still can relate to me without
Yeah.
being too young and or like slightly older that like don't need to relate to like a 22-year-old girl. Do you know what I mean? So I just try and do things and talk about things that I feel like people my age are going to be doing.
Yeah.
For example, like a lot of people my age are like still at uni, so they are getting like smashed all the time. So I'm like, great, I'll do a tutorial that I'm doing exactly the same. Like, I may not be at uni, but like I'm doing the same and stuff. And it's always a little bit, you've got to think business. So I don't obviously get like blackout drunk, because then I'll have like a brand be like, don't know if you want to work. Like, do you know what I mean?
So
you
balance.
do risk a lot. You do risk a lot doing things like that. But I think nowadays people are seeing the engagement and the potential that just comes from being real and being yourself and just having fun and kind of playing on that, letting influencers kind of do what they want to do because they know what gets the best engagement, if that makes sense. So finding a way of doing your own spin on things and being professional at the same time, you know, I feel like people like that. That's like, I think that's why it's like going. I think it's going well because I'm finding what I get the best engagement
what works for
with.
you and what people want to see
what
out
my
of
like
you.
niche is.
So a big thing that you're doing at the minute is Ask Rach. That seems to be going quite well.
Yes, asking questions, I guess.
Loads of people, and you get a lot. So I watched one of your videos the other day on Ask Rach, and you spoke about social anxiety and that this was something you suffered with.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about this.
So I've not by any means been like diagnosed with it or anything like that. I just feel like because I actually moved out of my home and into my own flat when I was 19, lived on my own then for 2 years because I moved back home this year, just because I started like, I used to be like the most bubbly person ever. You could throw me in a room with anyone, I'm going to talk to anyone. In this industry you have to do that a lot, go to events, I've got no idea who's going. And it was the longer I was living on my own for and spending like every single day by myself, kind of like talking to myself, talking to like the TV, for God's sake, just because, well, not like literally talking to the TV, but you know what I mean? Like Jeremy Kyle could be on and I'd be like, nah, like I don't know who I'm talking to, but it's someone that's not actually there. So then when it came to actually interacting, even with my friends or just like other people, I was just finding after a while, I just like couldn't do it. And I just wanted to have the moment to like unplug and like not speak to anyone for a while. And I never used to be like that. And it was just getting to a point where I was like, I really don't like this suddenly can't do it person that I never was and now have become, especially in this industry. Like I need to be a bit more social, and I miss that side of me that's can do that. I mean, I still like my own space. I mean, everyone does. And when you're on trips and stuff like that, I feel like it's actually really exhausting to talk to feel like you have to talk to someone for like hours on end just because they're not like your closest friends. So like if we had a moment of silence or whatever,
you feel like
I'd be thinking, oh my God, like I don't want you to think that I don't want to talk to you because I don't actually know you that well. So you don't know that this is just I just, you know, I just feel
you're
comfortable.
Having a moment to yourself,
So like, you find that you're talking a lot, which then becomes really exhausting, and then you need time on your own. And then, I think it was just affecting me. And I just said to my mum, like, while I'm still 22, and of an age where people are obviously still living at home, like, I think I just want to come home for like a bit and get the old me like back and stuff like that. Because it is a lonely job, and you don't realize it affects you until you're thrown into situations that you used to be super comfortable in, and now it makes you really uncomfortable. I don't know if that's social anxiety. Is that social anxiety? Like, I just kind of generalize it, but I know people can be a bit, unless you're like actually have anxiety and like know the definition. Like, I don't want to offend anyone by saying like, I feel like everyone's got mild social anxiety at least, like, of just like being in situations that they're not comfortable with. It's just the way that you're dealing with it, and I just wasn't dealing with it very well. So I think that's why I said like I get a bit socially anxious sometimes.
Yeah, that's the word for you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Why do you think it's so important to share that with your followers and with your viewers?
So you know that it's
real life,
normal, and like I come across confident, and I could have a conversation with a brick wall, like if I needed to.
I don't doubt it.
But a lot of the time, like I do like to be. I have a love-hate relationship with being on my own. Like, I love it, and a lot of my friends would say that you must love being on your own, because I do a lot of the time. But in situations sometimes when I need to have that switch on of just like conversating and I genuinely feel like I can't, or there's a lot of
Yeah.
unknown in this industry too, of like, again, turning up to things that you don't know anyone's there
Yeah.
or what it's going to be like. And there's actually been a couple of times where I'm on my way to an event and I've been texting all my friends being like, are you going? And they're like, no. And I'm suddenly like, oh my God, who, like, I have no idea who's actually going to be there. Turn around and went home. Like, just didn't even like go in the
Yeah.
end. And I would never used to do that. And a lot of people get that too. Like, even if it's just in like day-to-day work, say you're like with work colleagues and stuff and you've got like a
Yeah.
work do or something like that. And people are just like, I don't know them that well, so I don't know how this is going to go. Like, that, I feel like that's like, that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
throwing yourself into the unknown is like, okay, it's just, I'll share my ways of dealing with it. And I think that kind of like is what helps. People just need to know how to deal with things and just because not everyone will be the same.
Yeah.
So if I can enlighten someone into a new method that I found that's like good for me, then it might like work for them. And I think that's kind of like, that kind of helps, I guess. Well, I hope it helps. It's kind of what I'm like aiming to do, is just like help with that kind of thing. But I don't really talk about it a lot because I'm quite good in the sense of I'm never like a pity party of just like, do you know what I mean? Like, no, like people have it way worse just because I get a bit nervous sometimes. Woe is not me kind of thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but I'll just speak about it if it's relevant and if it like is applicable. And I think that people might be like interested to know.
Well, that's it. I think it's good to share, to show, for one, you're human, which obviously we know, you know, but like people look to influencers like there's some superpower that can get thrown into these rooms and should just get on with everyone and should always be bubbly and happy, but they forget they're human. So I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating when like it doesn't so much happen anymore, but actually no, that's actually like kind of does. It's like if you have a picture with anyone in this industry, like you'll get at least a good few people being like, oh my God, my two faves together, like you have to film and stuff like that. And it's like
Pressure.
It's not like pressure, it's just like, just because we had a picture it does not mean that we're like the best of friends or anything like that, or like people expect you to get on with everyone just because you do the same thing. And it's like, I'm fairly certain my friends come home from work and they're like, oh God, I can't stand that. It's just like it's the same thing.
Yeah,
you're kind of at like a giant office job, but with like people all over the country and like world sometimes, and you're not gonna like everyone, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that there's beef either. That can just mean she's quiet, I'm not, and therefore we just like I'm not gonna force myself to be someone I'm not, just to like be mates. Like, because I don't enjoy hanging out with super quiet people anyway, because that forces me to then be quiet, and I'm like, no,
that's not who you are.
That's not me. So yeah, I think that's the common misconception, is just because people don't get on doesn't mean that like something's happened.
There's a big drama.
There's a scandal. It just might mean she's X, I'm Y, and
that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And with that, how do you sort of balance between what you choose to put online and what you keep to yourself? Do you feel that you do keep a lot to yourself?
I feel like I keep a lot to myself in the sense of like my family maybe, but that's just out of respect for them, and I know what they're like, and that kind of thing. I'm not 100% like confident in myself. Like people always want me to like vlog every day and stuff like that, and there's just parts of my life that just like aren't that interesting, and or just like I just wouldn't want on like camera, or like if I ever announce that I'm going on like holiday, it's like, oh my God, do like a vlog your holiday and stuff, and I'm like, well, no.
You also need a break.
Like no,
like you film so much,
yeah,
like that's your holiday.
I want to like share things with people, but I think there's like a certain, like I would never name names about certain situations in my personal life specifically, as in people that aren't in the industry, for example. I don't particularly name names of people that are in the industry either, I think. But then there's some people on YouTube that like really couldn't give to like whatevers, and will like expose people, and I think that's like, it makes good content, but I think that's when you need to know, like, is it, so do you just care about the content, like nobody's like feelings involved and stuff like that. So I think I share a lot, and I'm happy to talk about a lot, but yeah, I think when it comes to specifics and other people, especially my family, I think I'd rather not. And like people care for like a second, but then like I'm not like hounded by it, do you know what I mean? Just because I didn't say someone's name, or like just because my I don't post pictures with like, I don't know, my family and stuff. Like I'm not like constantly like, bombarded being like, why don't you share? Like I think like people, I know what people care about me, and I know the topics that people care about, and I just kind of try and stick to that. Because when you try something new, it's always a bit scary, and I'm like, I'm happy with the amount that I share. I think I'm on the good level of sharing enough that you're still interested, and like I'm still someone that you can relate to, and then keeping enough private that I still like actually have a private life.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
It's very important. Okay, now Coachella. We need to talk about Coachella. Rach, tell me, what happened? Was this your first time at Coachella?
Yes.
Okay, tell me everything. Like, is it as good as it looks? I'm dying to know.
How good does it look?
Insane.
But that I say,
so that's it.
That's the way that I would describe it, is insane. But I'm not like kind of like smiling when I say that. It's just like it's like insane.
Tell us.
Like it's really just like not what I expected either. Wow. I think you see a different side to everyone. That's the thing. I was like, I said this to someone last night when they asked me about it. I was like, it was really good in the sense of the experience is amazing. It's really just like such a lavish festival in that sense. I mean, I was lucky enough to have the VIP side of things, and that's probably why I'm like, it was really like lavish and stuff. But no, really nice. Obviously, the acts were incredible.
Yes. Oh my god.
Shame I missed half of them because I like couldn't see and like I just couldn't remember. But you know, the acts were incredible. The whole like atmosphere is amazing, and it feels very safe. Like that, it's very really feels like a really like safe festival. Yeah. But then it's like everyone just obviously feels that they can go completely nuts.
Really?
Which you can't, like, and it's like every festival.
Yeah.
But it's a bit more like controlled nuts, if that makes sense. So you're like under control, but you're like completely like, just like having the best time ever. Yeah. And I think the parties before the actual festival are like so much fun. And they're probably like the best bits, because when you're there, it's just so big and quite overwhelming that you're like a little bit lost. Yeah, no, the only thing I can say is I just saw a different side to majority of people I was with, and then like a different side to just kind of like festivals in general. I feel like festivals is like I'm a kind of like a different person at a festival. Do you know what I mean?
It is a like crazy situation.
Yeah,
everyone just goes a bit
like
wild.
The atmosphere is just so intense. About like everything, a lot of people. But it was very overwhelming in the sense, in like the VIP area, I was like turn around and like Liam Payne was there, and I was like, okay, and then I turn around in that way, and there was like someone else, I can't remember who, but like, and you see like all the influences that like you just kind of see online and you see them in person, so it is a little bit surreal. The whole experience is very like surreal. But do you know what I said? I'd go again now, on my own.
Really?
I don't think I'd want to be in, or like with one other person.
Yeah.
I was like in such a big group that it was a bit like, had the best time ever. Like we were all, it was like nice to be surrounded by like people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But again, you know how you feel when you wake up after a festival, like, and you have to go like the next day. Don't really want to talk to anyone, but I'm in like a group of people where you have to. So I'm a bit like, here we go. Like it's the second day. Like let's go. But yeah, the people that you're with make such a difference as to the general experience that you have. I feel like because I was in a big group of people, we felt like we had to stick together, and not everyone has the same music taste, not everyone wants to do the same thing, so there were certain parts we feel like you missed and stuff. But I'm glad I went with a big group and could see that side of it, to then know if I went in the future, there's definitely so many questions that I would need to know before I went, or like if I had the chance to go on my own, I definitely would. Because now I know how like safe it is, and just like how nice it is, I would genuinely just, on my ones, like go on my own, like, and just explore like on my own. It's one of those things that you could do that and it's fine. Yeah, like
it does look really safe.
And you'd still have the best time on your own
with your apps that you like.
Yeah, get the food that you want, drinks that you want, just like
do you?
Yeah,
completely do you? Yeah. Was there anyone that you were like, okay, fangirling over? Because I mean, I saw so many people there
that I would there or acts that performed.
Either way, there. Like someone that, like, if you saw anyone there,
I can't remember.
I mean, I think I could guess.
Well, I like vlogged with him too. Do you know who Ricky Thompson is?
Yes.
He's like the hilarious guy on Instagram. I saw him and I was like, but I was like really scared to meet him, because you know they say you should like never meet your like idols and stuff. Because he's such a persona on Instagram that I was terrified that I'd see him and he just wouldn't
be what you
thought.
But
he was exactly the same. Like so down to like do whatever.
Oh
Really
my
just love the
God.
fact that was the thing. If there was anyone from America or something that I was like, oh my God, like I really like meh, it'd just be like, oh my God, are you from London? And I'm just like, yeah.
Here
and
we
I think
go.
it's because I've got quite like a posh voice too. So like all
Yes.
weekend, everyone was being like, oh darling. And then I left being like, now I can't stop saying hello darling. Like I can't stop. So I'm hoping that stops because everyone keeps looking at me to be like, what? But I can't like think of people specifically. I think actually the day before Coachella,
Yeah.
so we got there on the Thursday night, we went out to a club
Okay.
because the jet lag sunk, like no one was tired, was ready to go. Have you heard of a club called Poppies?
Yes. We've
Yeah.
held many a party there.
Yeah, have you? Like it was like I didn't really
Know of
realize.
that club.
I didn't really realize the like not like exclusivity of it, but like the people that
Oh
like
my
go.
God, yes.
So I walked in and I was like, whatever. We had like a table and stuff. So like one of my friends knew like a person that works there, so we had like a table. Like looked to my left and like Wiz Khalifa's in the corner, and I was like, oh my God. And then like my friend Gary, who I took with me, he was like, Rachel, don't turn around now, but like Ty Dolla $ign's behind you. And I was like, what? So I'm like there just like, what? Like turning around, and sure enough there he is. And I was like, I'm so confused right now. Like if I go home and tell my friends like, yeah, so it went out on the Thursday before
Just wouldn't
Coachella and like
understand
Wiz
it.
Khalifa and Ty Dolla $ign were in there, it doesn't really sound real.
No.
So like that was
But
a
it
little
really
bit that
is.
was a bit surreal. They were a bit like, I can't believe we're in like breathing the same air right now. It's quite bizarre.
A
I can't-
crazy weekend
Yeah,
then.
it really was.
Would you go again?
Not so soon. I'm still like digesting.
Next year,
it
we're
all.
going to see if Rachel
Next
goes,
year,
by
yeah.
the way, guys.
Next year, maybe
Coachella
not.
Part
It
2.
depends who's. Do you know what? Actually, I'd go weekend 2.
Oh
I
my
think weekend
God.
1 was a bit like much. And I was saying I would have gone weekend 2 this year.
This year looked so
Not
good
drank
as well.
anything, not been with anyone, and done the whole thing
Just
again.
seen it.
Yeah, and really
Yeah.
took it in. Yeah, no, I would go again, but I'd have to assess the situation first, I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think you've given us a really good insight to Coachella there. Thank you very much. Now, before we go, Rachel, I just want to say you have achieved so much at such a young age.
Oh, thank you.
What advice would you give to anyone that wants to maybe get into the industry that you're in or into the YouTube world?
Just see past the materialistic benefits of what this job brings, because there is a lot, I won't lie. Yeah, trips, PR that you receive, like endless makeup, clothes. You're lucky enough that you could just be like, please can I have this? And a lot of people would say yes.
Yeah.
Because if you have, if you get to the stage where you have a platform, you are obviously offering something in return. So a lot of people, there's a lot of yeses in this industry, but you have to also be prepared for a lot of no's and a lot of pressure, a lot of independence that some people aren't actually ready for at the age that they are, or like you could even be older but it's still just like the being alone that's really difficult. I feel like just know that it's not all that it looks like from the outside. But if you genuinely feel like you can handle a lot of that kind of stuff, you're aware that there's a lot of lows as well as highs, then go for it. I mean, it's so competitive these days, but there's always room for one more, like always.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that applies to everything, whether it's like
Definitely.
food or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like
Whatever it is.
There's always room for one more, and if you think that, oh my God, I feel like you've got what it takes. I mean, who am I to be like, no. I mean, just like go for it. If you're willing to put in the work, you genuinely feel that like every element of this job is something that you can handle and do and would really enjoy, then this is like a dream job. Like, so if you think you can do it, go for it. 100%.
There you go, listeners. Go and do it if you're into it.
Go for it.
Okay, and what is next for you? Before we go, what is coming up next? What's happening this year, Rach? Can we spill any tea?
Next year.
Oh,
I
next year.
No, I was going to say not even next year, but I'm going to just say one thing that like this month is probably going to be like the biggest month of my life. So just stay tuned to see like why that is.
My God. Can we get any like...
I mean, I've teased a little bit on my like Instagram and social medias and stuff like that, but I'll just say I think I'm giving the people what they want.
That's a drum roll, babies. And on that note, Rachel, thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you
us on
so
PLT
much.
Behind Closed Doors. We're now going to go to the exclusive part of our podcast where we slide into your DMs. And I cannot wait. If you would like to listen to the exclusive part of the podcast where we slide into Rachel's DMs, you need to tap the link below and follow us over to iTunes. Thanks for watching. This has been Rachel Leary on PLT Behind Closed Doors.
Thank you.